Lowe's knows you've got a job to do, and we help get it done. With the MyLowe's Pro Rewards program, eligible members save more with volume discounts on qualifying orders through a quote of $2,000 or more. Join for free today. Lowe's, we help, you save. Offer can't be combined with any other discount, contract, and/or special pricing. Exclusions, more terms, and restrictions apply. Details at lowes.com/terms. Subject to change.
Monday Sidekick, the AI agent that knows you and your business, thinks ahead and takes action. Ask it anything. Seriously. Monday Sidekick, AI you'll love to use. Start a free trial today on monday.com.
If you're a smoker or vapor ready to make a change, you really only need one good reason. But with Zyn nicotine pouches, you'll discover many good reasons. Zyn is America's #1 nicotine pouch brand. Plus, Zyn offers a robust rewards program. There are lots of options when it comes to nicotine satisfaction, but there's only one Zyn. Check out zyn.com/find to find Zyn at a store near you. Warning, this product contains nicotine. Nicotine is an addictive chemical.
Skip the gym, not the workout. With Hydro, you get a full-body workout in just 20 minutes, hitting 86% of your muscles in one smooth, low-impact motion. And now there's the new Hydro Arc, Hydro's most advanced rower yet. Arc introduces Hydrometrics, tracking your power, endurance, and precision every time you row, so you can actually see your progress. Go to hydro.com and use code ROW to get $100 off any Hydro rower, including Arc. That's HYDROW.com, code ROW.
This is the Daily Tech News for Friday, October 3rd, 2025. We tell you what you need to know, follow up on the context of those stories, and help each other understand.
Today, Jason's Ireland tech trip continues with a look at a pair of smart socks. And we discuss an ad-supported version of Xbox Cloud Gaming that's being tested right now.
That's right. I'm Jason Howell.
I'm Jenn Cutter.
Let's start with what you need to know with a big story. All right, so we've got a few different stories related to gaming and the packages, the Xbox Game Pass Ultimate and stuff. So we've kind of combined them a little bit. First of all, on Wednesday, Tom and Sarah talked about the price increase of Xbox Game Pass Ultimate memberships. And now we have some developments here. GameStop has announced that it will continue selling the memberships in-store and online at the previous price of $19.99 per month, instead of raising it to Microsoft's new $29.99 per month price. As of showtime, and I went and checked just to be sure because they were reporting on it, I was like, okay, well, sometimes that's behind the ball. Amazon, Target, and Best Buy, I can confirm, are still listing the membership at the lower price. So what sets GameStop apart here is its public commitment to the lower price. They're basically saying like, nope, we're sticking to the lower price, and they're announcing it so everybody knows. Gamers, of course, speculating about why this may be, possibly that the stores are selling through old inventory of prepaid codes that are tied to the lower price. And in fact, if you see some of the physically printed Game Pass cards, they show their value. So, selling a card that's printed at $19.99 for $29.99, could be a part of this, I suppose. But if that's the case, why online digital code pricing is staying at the previous rate as well? I don't know. It's all very confusing. Jen, what do you think?
It's kind of familiar in the old school. Hey, here's our loss leader. Here's our $20 TV. Just come on in the door.
Yeah,
we'll
right.
Get you everything else. But that they're doing it online too. That one was interesting. Like, that is a great way to get good press.
Yeah.
It's a good start. And it reminded me back when PSN, like before PSN had changed their tiers and they had raised a price, and back in the 360 days when for 360 you used to be able to like spend points to get Xbox Live cards, and people found a really good way to game that system, which was one of the reasons Microsoft changed it. And people bought so many. They had stocked up. One of my friends had stocked up the maximum, which was somewhere around 4 years of Xbox Live, spending zero money. So I think that like GameStop knows they're going to sell through the codes and cards that they have super duper fast because it's such a huge price hike. Like, people are they want to commit now while they know their budget, while who knows what's going to change in the future with all of the console hardware price hikes, with the new standard price of games having crept higher. So this is a great way to get people to buy now instead of later, which helps for every store with their Q4s.
Yeah, I mean, this is all pretty early too, right? Like the price hike just announced a couple of days ago. We're a few days later. We're still seeing the lower price. I mean, in my mind, it's kind of interesting to me that people are making a big deal of this, aside from the fact that it's a really good awareness play to say, hey, if you know you are a hardcore gamer and you know you're going to be using this service for the next 3 to 4 years, maybe it makes sense for you to stock up now while that price is $10 per month lower. In aggregate, that really does add up. But I mean, this I don't know. When I read through this and saw people really reacting, like, are people really like maybe even expecting that these stores are going to keep it at $19.99 forever? Like, I don't think so. This just really seems to me like, hey, we've got some extra inventory. We just need to blow it out and then we'll get there. I think the difference here is GameStop announcing it explicitly, and I think Microsoft may be seeing that as like, hey, you're taking the wind out of the sails of this. Let's get everybody on board to the same messaging, and maybe that's why it's so different or interesting.
Well, especially for like longtime gamers, we have watched very slowly and then very quickly about how our hobby is going from like, yeah, it was always kind of pricey, but now it's like, oh no, we're going to have to actually be careful with what we buy. And are we getting the same value out of Game Pass? Like, it's not quite like how everybody rushed to cancel Disney Plus, but a lot of people did cancel their Game Pass. This pushed them over the edge. But now that they found out that they can still get it at the old price and maybe stock up, they might uncancel. So I think Microsoft should be quietly kind of happy about this, because then maybe those people who canceled and uncanceled will forget to cancel again in the future.
Yeah, potentially so. Well, there is other related news. Microsoft is also kind of nearing some sort of a launch of a free ad-supported version of Xbox Cloud Gaming. This is according to The Verge's sources, and this isn't the first time that we've heard of this. I think there have been rumors about this for the last couple of years. Employees are reportedly testing this feature internally, playing certain titles without a Game Pass subscription. So users will be able to, at least according to the way it is running right now, play and stream the games that they already own, also Xbox Retro Classics, free play days titles as well. And if you want to know a little bit about how this might work, so imagine in a world where you launch the ad-supported version, you are required to watch about 2 minutes worth of ads before that gameplay kicks in. And then it currently limits play to 1 hour per session, with up to 5 hours each month. And, obviously, who knows how that's all going to settle out. This is all being tested as it is right now. Nothing is certain and nothing is finalized, but a public beta is expected soon, but we still don't really know.
Yeah, for people who use the free-ish tier of NVIDIA Cloud, where you have ads before you play on that service, it feels familiar. It feels like it's not out of line. 2 minutes is always going to feel longer than 2 minutes is, like, especially when you hit the minute long ads on YouTube and Twitch. It is just aggravating.
Yeah, it's excruciating at times.
Oh man,
yeah.
So 1 hour play sessions, and I'm trying to think of like what game would I play an hour in and be happy with that hour, because I tend to play longer sessions. So it's like, okay, are they going to let us go? Do you have to make a new session? But when we see the public beta or employees leak more stuff, we'll have a much clearer picture.
Yeah, they're just giving you a little taste. They're giving you a taste of what it's like on the other side with the ad-supported. That's what the ad-supported always seems to do. Make it slightly inconvenient, if not more than slightly inconvenient, but give you a look into it, and then maybe eventually you're won over and you cross the path.
Yeah, and for the free play days, like, that was a part that grabbed me, because like I used to pay for the top PSN tier where you had access to more of the demos, and now that I don't, I find I don't miss the demos. Weirdly. Yeah. So a lot of people have learned to live without this kind of stuff. So we'll see if this brings people back, because again, with gaming budgets getting smaller and gaming's costing more, we'll see if these kind of incentives to get people to try more games will pay off for them and developers.
Indeed, we will.
DTNS is made possible by you, the listener, thanks to Chris Beneteau, Jeffrey Zilks, and Alo Adam L.
Thank you.
Yay.
Hey, what's up? It's Mario Lopez. Back to school is an exciting time, but it can also be overwhelming, and kids may feel isolated, a vulnerability that human traffickers can exploit. Human trafficking doesn't always look like what you expect. Everyday moments can become opportunities for someone with bad intentions. Whether you're a parent, teacher, coach, or neighbor, check in, ask questions, stay connected. Blue Campaign is a national awareness initiative that provides resources to help recognize suspected instances of human trafficking. Learn the signs and how to report at dhs.gov/Blue Campaign.
Monday Sidekick, the AI agent that knows you and your business, thinks ahead and takes action. Ask it anything, seriously. Monday Sidekick, AI you'll love to use. Start a free trial today on monday.com.
You know what's wild? Most people are still overpaying for car insurance just because it's a pain to switch. That's why there's Jerry. Jerry is the only app that compares rates from over 50 insurers in minutes and helps you switch fast with no spam calls or hidden fees. Drivers who save with Jerry could save over $1,300 a year. Before you renew your car insurance policy, do yourself a favor. Download the Jerry app or head to jerry.ai/ACAST.
Skip the gym, not the workout. With Hydro, you get a full-body workout in just 20 minutes, hitting 86% of your muscles in one smooth, low-impact motion. And now there's the new Hydro Arc, Hydro's most advanced rower yet. Arc introduces Hydrometrics, tracking your power, endurance, and precision every time you row, so you can actually see your progress. Go to hydro.com and use code ROW to get $100 off any Hydro rower, including Arc. That's HYDROW.com, code ROW.
Hey, Ryan Reynolds here from Mint Mobile. Now, I don't know if you've heard, but Mint's premium wireless is $15 a month. But I'd like to offer one other perk. We have no stores. That means no small talk. Crazy weather we're having. No, it's not. It's just weather. It is an introvert's dream. Give it a try at mintmobile.com/switch.
Upfront payment of $45 for 3-month plan, $15 per month equivalent required. New customer offer first 3 months only. Then full price plan options available. Taxes and fees extra. See mintmobile.com.
All right, there's more we need to know today, so let's get to the briefs.
Tom and I had talked at length about Zora 2 on yesterday's show, but it's worth following up on the fact that the app has reached number 3 on the U.S. App Store, pulling around 164,000 installs in 2 days. In fact, Zora's day one downloads beat Anthropic's Claude and Microsoft's Copilot. Its day one number of around 56,000 downloads did not surpass the day one numbers of ChatGPT and Google's Gemini, as those had pulled in more than 80,000 downloads on their first days on the App Store.
Still not a bad showing right out of the gate. And it really seems like OpenAI is aware about what kind of moves the needle from like a virality standpoint with their apps. So they're having some successes here, and Zora 2 is definitely a compelling offering, as you know, because you talked all about it yesterday.
Yeah, of course, I am one of those people who I'm waiting for. It's like, so when do Nintendo lawyers get out of bed on this?
Oh yeah, no kidding, right?
But that helps the virality of it. Everyone's like, oh, it's the dangerous app. It made Nintendo mad. Like, granted, there's a lot of things that make Nintendo mad, but everything that gets more press gets more downloads.
100% Streisand in effect. Apple has removed apps from its app store that let users track and report sightings of U.S. immigration and customs enforcement agents. Apple told the press that, quote, based on information we've received from law enforcement about the safety risks associated with IceBlock is the app that was removed, we have removed it and similar apps from the App Store, end quote. U.S. Attorney General Pam Bondi said the Department of Justice requested Apple make the removals. Now, this is the latest instance of the U.S. government pressuring tech companies to remove reporting of law enforcement activities. And Apple's guidelines actually prohibit accepting apps that relay information in other cases, like drunk driving checkpoints. That was after pressure from U.S. senators back in 2011. Also, navigation apps like Waze and Google Maps have been pressured not to explicitly warn about speed traps. So this is not without precedent. And in a related story, Wired found internal contractor vendor requirements at U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement describing a plan to create a team of 30 individuals to monitor public social media posts to create leads for immigration enforcement.
I had actually forgotten that Waze and Google Maps got told about these speed traps and drug driving checkpoints, because I knew it was a big story at the time and how many people had downloaded Waze specifically for those.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Always makes me worry as a separate driver. And for people who want to get and keep on top of which apps have been removed, 404 Media has got their ongoing story about it and do excellent coverage on what apps have been removed and how some of those apps may have also had legitimate security issues for the people using the apps, which is why it's kind of split as for IceBlock. It's like, okay, it's not the worst that app specifically is no longer on the App Store.
Interesting.
Strava is suing Garmin and demanding the end to sales of most of Garmin's fitness and outdoor watches, as well as removal of certain features from Garmin Connect. Strava claims Garmin violated 2 patents, one related to segments and the other to heat maps, and breached a 2015 cooperation agreement made between the two companies. Garmin disputes this, saying it had similar features before Strava's patents were filed. Some experts believe Strava will not win in the lawsuit, but in the meantime, both brands are saying that people can still sync workouts as usual, so at least there's that.
Yeah, don't worry. We got you. You can still sync your fitness. It's just this little feud that we have. Interesting that it's been like 10 years. Has this just been building and brewing over the last 10 years? And they're like, fine, I've had it. No more. Yeah. Says Strava. I don't know.
Well, my mom's like, is this going to affect my golf stuff on the Garmin? Because a lot of golfers move to Garmin because they have the current best golf tracking apps. And I'm like, no, I don't think golfers use a lot of heat maps and segments.
Although these days, I guess you never know. Anything's possible. People like to get real nerdy with their data, so I wouldn't be surprised. A hacking group named Shiny Hunters, also you may have heard of an AKA for this group, Lapsus, is claiming to have stolen around 1 billion records from companies storing customer data in cloud databases managed by Salesforce. The group launched a dark website that they called Scattered Lapsus Hunters to pressure victims of its attack, that is, companies with their data as part of the attack, into paying to avoid having their data leaked. So some of those companies, Google, Qantas, FedEx, Hulu, Toyota, and that's just naming a few. There were plenty more listed. Salesforce is denying that a compromise actually happened. They are saying that no evidence links the breach to any vulnerabilities with its own technology. So it kind of sounds like, hey, I'm not saying that there's no breach. It's just not our fault. Don't look at us.
Yeah. You point those fingers somewhere else. And
yes.
And this is always the risk for these companies. It's like, okay, so you paid and the data's out there anyway.
Yeah.
And
totally.
Now what do you do?
Now what?
Google is now allowing Gmail business users to send end-to-end encrypted emails to anyone, regardless of their email platform. Users will need to activate additional encryption when composing the email. Non-Gmail recipients will receive a secure link to view and reply using a restricted guest account, and more complicated measures like requiring key exchanges or extra software are considered unnecessary with the system because Google's client-side encryption manages security on both the sender's end with encryption keys, which are under the organizational control.
Yeah, so kind of nice. My understanding is you still have to log into kind of like that locked down guest account. So it's not as easy as just clicking the link and poof, it appears. You do kind of have to authenticate a little bit, but you're not authenticating with your own account information. Obviously, if you don't have a Gmail account, you would have no account to authenticate it with. So there is a little bit of a process, but nonetheless, neat that you can do that at all.
It is, but I also hope that if you're expecting encrypted communications from a particular company, that you really are expecting it. Because can you imagine if you get an email saying we're encrypted, we're really the company. Yeah, don't worry, we swear we're this company. And then you think, oh, this is great. Granted, they're not getting access to your thing, but people hear end-to-end encryption and like you kind of instinctively trust it more, but you still need to be careful about who you're getting emails from.
Really good reminder. You definitely do. And finally, Meta is testing a Threads communities feature with dedicated spaces for focused discussions. There's actually more than 100 communities already created. Topics like NBA threads, book threads, tech threads, that sort of stuff. And the posts inside are ranked higher according to relevance. There's some special engagement features like custom emoji tied to it as well.
Yeah, once TikTok Book Talk blew up, everybody wants to be like, oh, we got those features. Yeah, no, come over, use ours too.
That's how they all operate. They're just like, oh, they're doing that? We want to do that too.
Wait, people like literature? Let's get on that. Those are the essentials for today, so let's dive a little deeper.
Yeah, I hope you're not sick of Ireland yet. I'm certainly not. More to share about my trip to Dublin that took place last week, courtesy of Enterprise Ireland, which, by the way, had someone reach out. They were like, what, the car rental company? No, not the car rental company. Enterprise Ireland is a government organization. And like I mentioned on Tuesday, I believe it was, they invest in and support their own Irish startups. One of the really cool startups that I saw up close was Danu Sports. They've developed smart socks. You heard that right. Wearables for your feet. I spoke with founder Oisín Lennon at his company's lab, which was really cool to see, about how this tech helps athletes and clinicians track performance and prevent injuries.
All right, I'm in a completely different part of Dublin, Ireland right now at the headquarters for Danu, which is a wearable technology company, but in a different way than a watch, different way from glasses. It's in a sock. And I've got Oisín Lennon, CEO and founder of this really cool technology here to tell us all about it.
Thanks for coming. Thanks for having us. You're tough ultra road to Ireland. You're very welcome here, and I hope you guys enjoy the game and your experience in Dublin.
So far, so good. We're really enjoying it.
Good. Yeah. Well, there's a good buzz around the place.
So wearable socks, a different type of wearable than I'm used to seeing. I love the idea of like filling a sock full of sensors that pick up on all different types of ways that we're walking, especially as someone who I know when I walk with a little bit of a flat foot, and my wife is always, correcting me and everything. I imagine these socks would be helpful in that. Tell us a little bit about.
Yeah, exactly. Well, they could be helpful for your wife, but maybe less so for you when she gets some data points behind it. Right. But I suppose, so at Danu, essentially what we're doing is we're creating the freedom of analysis to measure real world movement analysis in any environment at any time. And we do this for professional sports to help with injury recovery, injury prevention, and also increase athletic performance. We also do it through, I suppose, Danu Medical on our healthcare side, where we help improve patient outcomes across various different diseases, such as neurological diseases or general orthopedics, both in the hospital and remote patient care. And then we're also more recently using it to help accelerate clinical drug trials and accelerate the validation of those drugs, essentially. We're doing this by turning the everyday sock into a very powerful analytical tool that measures roughly 14,000 precise data points on the quality of your movement, how you're moving through space and time, and what sort of plantar pressures you have in that space as well. Again, with just your everyday sock, and that's a key thing for us. It's an everyday item. A lot of the questions we got early on is, why a sock, not an insole? Well, an insole is generally an add-on feature for an individual, like a lot of different wearables. This was also a rigid unit that manipulates how your foot interacts with your footwear, or how it interacts with various different, like orthotics or anything else that you have within your shoe. Whereas our socks, they're uniquely flexible in-shoe pressure measurement system.
You can ball it up and completely into your fist. Yeah, there's lots of technology kind of coursing through there.
You've got 15 sensors that I'm crumbling away there, but they're ultra durable. I suppose the reason you don't see a whole lot of smart socks on the market is that it's very hard to make in a way that's machine washable, mass manufacturable.
Yeah.
But ultimately that it's comfortable for the user as well, which is probably the most key factor. And we've sort of cracked that code essentially.
Well, especially from a place of comfort, like this is one question that I had, is that depending on like the sport or the application, like is this something that's happening that somebody is wearing during their sport to get information? If so, does some of this technology, like how do you design it so that it stays out of the way of like the shin guard or these other things that might interfere with it a little bit?
Yeah, like we developed a sports tech company with a med tech philosophy. So before we even came to the market, we spent 4 years in R&D, not just on making sure that our measurements were accurate and reliable, but that every part of the product was, fitting to the customer's needs. Things like Bluetooth connections are reliable. There's memory built into it, so you don't have to rely on Bluetooth. The product is durable. It's not going to break when the user's actually wearing it, and ultimately they're happy to wear it in the given environment.
Yeah.
As a technology group, and my personal background is in industrial design, so I will never be happy with the hardware that we're developing, and we're always trying to tweak, but we have to be satisfied at a point that it's ready for the market, which it is now. At the moment, we have rugby teams using it in actual real game environments, particularly with their athletes that are coming back from injury, on that sort of later stage of return to play. Using it to measure what sort of loads their individual limbs are going through and any asymmetries they have, and to just try and bring some sort of normality back to their gait before they decide that they're fully ready to return to play, and therefore avoid any further re-injuries down the line. Now rugby's probably along with NFL, is probably the most extreme environment for a wearable. You got, for sure, big grizzlies in South Africa that are bashing against each other and bumping into each other wearing the socks, and all we've gotten is praise and happiness from that group. They love wearing them, and there's no problem wearing them. From our perspective, in the long term, we want to get rid of any sort of hard plastic that you have on the side of the foot. Particularly certain sports like soccer. Some soccer athletes wouldn't be as comfortable wearing something that has that rigid unit on the side.
It's kind of like having a little bit of like a pebble in your sock or something like that, depending on if it's hit at just the wrong angle.
Exactly. Yeah, and it really comes down to the athlete and the type of sport that you're wearing it in. But we already have, like, all the sensors are already built into silicon-based capacitors. We have a PCB that's built into that silicon, and over time we'll just incorporate everything that we have here into the sock as well. So you'll have no hard plastic whatsoever. It'll just be almost like a seamless normal sock that you put on.
Everything gets miniaturized over time. You have to imagine that's going to happen. With the wealth of data and information, what can people do with that massive trove of data? How can they collect around that, or not collect, but really sort and kind of get some insights into that?
Yeah. So it was almost a problem for us at the start, in that, we only started selling this product in January of this year, and we ended up...
You just got FDA approval as well?
Correct, yeah. It's an FDA Class 1 device as of May of this year. But once we started selling, we ended up thrown into 5 different marketplaces. So some of our first paid clients were footwear companies. I can't really say their names, but big footwear companies using it in their research labs for developing new footwear. Then we've got sports teams using it for rehab, but also performance. Then you've got hospitals using it for remote patient care, and that remote patient care is in orthopedics. It's in things like knee replacements, but also in neurological diseases. And then we've just recently started with some pharmaceuticals using it for drug trials across like chronic pain, like knee osteoarthritis, some of the obesity medication that they have as well, and then again, neurological diseases. So as you've seen on our platform, we give a huge array of data.
Yes.
Every one of those people wants something different from the platform.
I'm sure they do.
And some of them love the detail, and some of them just want one single number. So at the start of this year, we were really good on the detail. So, our early clients just loved that. They're the ones that love that detail, but particularly sports practitioners like a strength and conditioning coach, they just want something that's actionable, because they're time poor people. They're really busy, and they're trying to manage a suite of athletes. They just want something really quick and actionable. So we just funneled the detail slowly up into a single figure. So what we give is a gait score, which factors in any asymmetries and variabilities, and then that works down. And then there's KPIs that the practitioner can choose to look at in any of these sessions, whether that's gait, plyometric jumps, or balance. And then we display those. Then our bread and butter is asymmetries. So then we give a measure of the summary statistics for those asymmetries for the individual. And then we've got all your detail on their plantar pressures, and then around 100 different metrics, plus asymmetries for all of those across 30 plus different activities. So it's essentially what they want to get from it. They can.
I was going to say it's hidden in there. It's not hidden in there, but it's just there to be found depending on what your filter is.
Yeah.
What's really important to you.
Exactly. So we also made it customizable. So whoever's looking at it can choose what they want to see and just get rid of the rest. So
there you go.
Yeah.
obviously I'm out here because Enterprise Ireland, flew me out here to talk to folks like you, creating technology here in Ireland with more of, obviously a global perspective. I guess from that end, tell me a little bit about, just real quick before we round this out, about the collaborative aspects of creating a company like this in Ireland. It sounds like there's a lot of collaboration that goes on here, a lot of lifting each other up. What's been your experience there?
Yeah, well, I suppose, first of all, we're a country that's very passionate about sports. Yeah. We're not particularly good at sports, but we're very passionate about them. Actually, don't sell yourself. Sure, yes, okay. We're good at certain sports, right? But and we've grown better in a lot. We probably, for the size of the country, probably overachieve in a lot of sports that we play. Yeah. And that passion filters down into the general population. What you'll actually find is across the globe, there's a huge network of Irish diaspora operating at the top level of sports all around the globe, whether it's Australia, whether it's the NFL, whether it's in Canada, wherever it might be. And generally in most of these sports teams, they have some of the top operators are people that have come from Ireland because our sports science background, our physio background is just very strong. We have a good understanding of sports. That again filters back to that sort of collaborative approach for a sports tech company like us. So we don't just have a group within Ireland to collaborate with every time we go to, whether it's, hospital in Qatar or whether it's a sports team in New Zealand or Australia. There's always some sort of connection that we can make that helps the company as well. And then it helps that there's a huge amount of sports technology companies here and we can always just support each other. Even if there's some small bit of competition, we always seem good to support each other.
Right on.
And Enterprise Ireland are very good at that as well. They've got a big network globally. And once you're at like the commercial stage like us, they open up, they've got 40 odd offices across the globe and they open up their network to you.
It's amazing. It's great support.
Yeah.
Well, Oisín Lennon, Danu, of course, DANU for folks who want to look more into this. Thank you so much for showing up.
Yeah, well, I'll give you a little bit on the Danu as well, just because you guys like the Irish approach, right? So Danu is an Irish goddess. She's a goddess of wisdom and craft. She's also the mother of the Tuatha Danann, the Irish tribe of the gods. But if you translate Danu, it means to run or to flow. Generally, hence the Danube River and so on. But, we're all about running, movement, and that's where the name came from.
It's perfect. Yeah. It's a perfect choice. Really nice talking with you.
Pleasure.
Thank you so much, Oisín.
And real quick, before we move on, you should also know that I have an Irish travelogue video that went live on the Daily Tech News Show YouTube channel. Happened last night. So if you haven't checked it out and you wonder what it's like, to be me in my shoes, whisked away through Dublin for a week, definitely give it a watch. I'm so happy that it exists. Also, a huge thank you to Roger Chang, who masterfully edited an insane amount of footage. I almost felt bad giving him like these massive, amount of files and saying, here's a video, I think. Yeah. And so he is a god. Roger, thank you for editing a wonderful video. Find that on the DTNS YouTube channel.
Roger is the best.
He is.
So do you need a snazzy gift for a coworker or colleague? And I am going to keep saying snazzy until they make me stop. We've got dozens of ideas at dailytechnewsshow.com/store. Pick up a mug, t-shirt, or mousepad with our new DTNS logo. They're great gifts and a great way to support the show.
They're snazzy. There's nothing wrong with snazzy.
Time of my life. I never felt this way before.
From building timelines to assigning the right people and even spotting risks across dozens of projects, Monday Sidekick knows your business, thinks ahead, and takes action. One click on the star and consider it done.
And I owe it all to you.
Try Monday Sidekick. AI you'll love to use on Monday.com.
If you're a smoker or vapor ready to make a change, you really only need one good reason. But with Zyn nicotine pouches, you'll discover many good reasons. Zyn is America's #1 nicotine pouch brand. Plus, Zyn offers a robust rewards program. There are lots of options when it comes to nicotine satisfaction. But there's only one Zyn. Check out zyn.com/find to find Zyn at a store near you. Warning, this product contains nicotine. Nicotine is an addictive chemical.
All right, we end every episode of DTNS with some shared wisdom. Today, Job Seeker is happy that I went to Ireland.
Job Seeker writes, "It was lovely hearing about Jason's trip to Ireland on Tuesday's podcast. Not only was it engaging, but it really hit home for me. I've actually been looking at jobs in Ireland myself. Shh. IT project managers are considered essential and eligible for work visas. I'm actively looking, though I'm not holding my breath. Jason's story gave me a boost at the same time. It's encouraging to know Ireland is putting real effort behind tech, especially with initiatives like Enterprise Ireland. Maybe there's a deep dive on a weekend edition coming up with more info? Thanks for the info."
Yeah, well, that's a good idea. I mean,
yeah, it's a thought.
I will say, it was really refreshing to be there and to kind of interact with the folks from Enterprise Ireland, because I mean, in my time there, it's obvious they really do care, and they're really involved. Like they're very involved in just making sure that these companies that are homegrown and competing on this this international scale, against how many companies are launched and fostered and blow up here in the US, right? They're competing with some very major companies, and this organization inside of the government is just there to offer support, there to offer funding. It was really refreshing. It was cool to see.
Yeah, they really packed your schedule. You got a lot done while you were over there.
Yeah.
Truly a whirlwind.
I mean, I got back on Monday evening. I'm still battling jet lag. And I think at this point, today, I'm feeling a lot fresher than I did yesterday. But boy, yeah, it was busy, but it was a ton of fun. Have you ever been to Ireland?
I have not. No. I've been to the UK. I've been to more of the Nordic countries because there's a lot of game studios out there. So that's where I've been more.
Well, everybody always said, when you go to Ireland, definitely drink a lot of Guinness because for whatever reason, it tastes better there. I don't understand why it tastes better there, but I would agree. It tastes better there. See, it was so good.
These are important facts. Thank you, Jason.
Well, what are you thinking about? If you have insight into a story, share it with us. Feedback at dailytechnewsshow.com. Big thanks to Oisín Lennon, of course, from Danu Sports. Thanks to Job Seeker for sending in the email, for contributing to today's show. We couldn't do this without you all. And thank you for being along for Daily Tech News Show. You can keep us in business by becoming a patron at patreon.com/DTNS. We'll talk to you soon. This week's episodes of Daily Tech News Show were created by the following people: host, producer, writer Tom Merritt, host, writer Jason Howell, that's me, co-host Sarah Lane, co-host Rob Dunwood, co-host Jenn Cutter, that's you, producer Anthony Lemos, producer Roger Chang, editor Hammond Chamberlain, editor Victor Bognat, science correspondent Dr. Nikki Ackermans, social media producer and moderator Zoe Detterding, our mods Beatmaster, W. Scottus1, BioCap, Captain Kipper, Steve Guadarrama, Paul Reese, Matthew J. Stevens, aka Gadget Virtuoso, and JD Galloway, mod and video hosting by Dan Christensen, music provided by Martin Bell and Dan Luders, art by Len Peralta, Acast ad support from Tatiana Matthias, Patreon support from Bobby Wagner, and our guests this week, Andy Beach, Ian Toohey, and Oisín Lennon. And thanks to all our patrons who make this show possible.
The DTNS family of podcasts, helping each other understand.
Diamond Club hopes you have enjoyed this program.
If you're a smoker or vapor, ready to make a change, you really only need one good reason. But with Zyn nicotine pouches, you'll discover many good reasons. Zyn is America's #1 nicotine pouch brand. Plus, Zyn offers a robust rewards program. There are lots of options when it comes to nicotine satisfaction, but there's only one Zyn. Check out zyn.com/find to find Zyn at a store near you. Warning, this product contains nicotine. Nicotine is an addictive chemical.
Skip the gym, not the workout. With Hydro, you get a full-body workout in just 20 minutes, hitting 86% of your muscles in one smooth, low-impact motion. And now there's the new Hydro Arc, Hydro's most advanced rower yet. Arc introduces Hydrometrics, tracking your power, endurance, and precision every time you row, so you can actually see your progress. Go to hydro.com and use code ROW to get $100 off any Hydro rower, including Arc. That's HYDROW.com, code ROW.